Hello everybody, Calamity here. Sorry it's been a while since my last video. I've just been enjoying my time off during the holidays, but I'm back with one last video for 2024. Don't worry, I'm gonna make a lot of videos in 2025, hopefully. But I just wanted to talk about some stuff I'd like to see in Genshin Impact coming into the next year. There's obviously a lot of things I'm sure we all want to see this game just get better, improve, more quality of life, more characters, etc, etc. And I'm just gonna go over some stuff that I personally want, some of which I think is actually doable, and some of it is probably just wishful thinking, but let's go ahead and start with number one. So we have a brand new update, 5.3, that's literally coming out tomorrow, or at least the day of recording this, it's tomorrow. And with that update, I'm sure most of you know by now, we're gonna have a new weekly boss. In Genshin Impact, 4 years later, it is still we can only do weekly bosses one time. I would very much like to see Genshin copy Star Rail. I don't know if ZZZ does this as well, but in Star Rail, when a new weekly boss comes out, it's not as bad because you can farm it 3 times per week, so you can get, well, 3 times the materials. Whereas in Genshin, once per week still. So we're gonna have a Pyro Archon or the Ice Grandma, you know, whichever one you're pulling for. And if you get both, well then shoot, you have to wait even longer because, right, we're gonna have to farm double the weekly boss materials, and you know, we're only restricted to fighting it once a week. It's gonna be a while till we can get those characters online and up and running, and we prefer to do it sooner rather than later, right? This is such a weird restriction that we can only fight it once, and most of us that have been playing, you know, we don't even really need to go back and fight previous weekly bosses. Why are we restricted to just one? Like I have plenty of weekly boss materials from all previous bosses because I just play this game so much, so I only need the new weekly boss. So it just sucks that I'm restricted to fighting it only once per week. Please let us fight it at least 3 times per week, you know, making the wait times, you know, a lot shorter for me to use my characters to their full potential sooner. Just saying. While we're on the topic of domains, something else I'd like to see is the removal of this stuff right here. Star Rail, again, also does not have this. Why are we still restricted? Monday, Thursday, Sunday, or you know, whatever days for certain materials. They should be all available all the time, regardless of day. And we're gonna use 5.3 as an example again. Plenty of you are gonna be pulling for, again, the 5-star characters that are gonna be on the banner, doesn't matter who. You might even be pulling some of the new characters in the second half, right? Nothing sucks more than pulling a brand new character, being excited to build them, and then going to see like, okay, what are their talent materials, or what do I need for their weapons? And then you see, oh, I can't build them today because their material's not available. That sucks. Like, obviously, yeah, you can just go work on something else, like artifacts, until it comes available, but like, that really sucks that, you know, some of us still have to wait to be able to farm the materials necessary. Like, yeah, pre-farming is a thing, but not everyone pre-farms. Sometimes you're just pulling on a whim, or sometimes you just get really lucky, stuff like that, and you know, maybe you want to build the character now, and it just sucks just having to wait. So I think the whole having to wait certain days for materials is just a waste. Every day should just be Sunday, and just have all the materials available. That'll be really nice, Hoyoverse. Also on the topic of domains is farming them. Domains do not have any sort of RNG or random aspect to them. They are going to be the same fight every single time. And I think it's so tedious that we have to do the same fight up to 5 times if you're doing condensed resin to get the materials we need for that day. I would much prefer it if we, as a player, met us, like if we meet the time requirements. Let's say we're beating these domains in less than 30 seconds. Less than 20 seconds or something, then we unlock the ability to automate farming these domains, where we can just kind of like maybe use like a slider and say like, we want to use this many condensed resin on this domain, and it just automates it for you. That would be such a huge time save and just a lot less tedious. I can just see it, like if I do it for artifacts, I can see all the artifacts in like one sitting and I have to sift through them 4 or 5 separate times. And it would just be a lot more convenient. Again, don't make it just free for everybody. Make them work for it. Make there be like a time requirement or something. And let us be able to automate it if we meet said time requirements. That's probably one of my hopeful changes. I doubt it'll ever happen because they want you to actually play the game and stuff. But it's wishful thinking. Next up is another kind of, I guess it's probably just me that wants this, I guess. So I believe it was last or this year or the previous year, I don't even remember anymore, but Genshin got a brand new endgame mode called the Imaginarium Theater. And well, I saw that there was some mixed reactions about this game mode from just comments in the in previous videos. I understand the frustration of, you know, like, let's say it cycles to elements you just don't have any characters of, or you just don't have enough characters to do the theater itself. Like, that sucks. But that's also why it's considered endgame content and not beginner-friendly content. Like, there are easier modes for you to participate in, but obviously you won't get all the rewards for doing so. But it's also another way to incentivize you to pull for other characters and pull for other elements. So I actually like this game mode a lot, and I thought it was really fun. It's also not really hard at all. I haven't really struggled with this game mode at all, but granted, I also have a lot of characters to work with, so it's never been a struggle, been really fun. I personally would like to see even more endgame modes added to Genshin, hopefully this year. I don't know if they have any planned, you know, if they're cooking anything. It'd be nice. I would like something similar to Apocalyptic Shadow, where we're fighting really hard bosses with new abilities and different mechanics than we're used to. This was really cool in Star Rail because it allowed you to fight those weekly bosses, but they had different mechanics. So it was not like a completely different fight, but it was just like a refreshed version of it, and it made some fights more interesting. Would like to see the same thing in Genshin, preferably without a time requirement or anything like that. That I hate that that's how they use the metric for endgame in this game, is just have a time requirement. it's like, I would rather just focus on the fight. Like, just beating the fight should be enough to get all the rewards, not forcing characters to play super optimally in a few minutes to get everything needed. Like, I have seen some frustration with that, and I actually do agree with y'all. Like, I don't think time should be a factor for endgame stuff. Like, I feel like if you can just beat it, then you deserve all the rewards. But that's just me, I guess. Or that's, you know, I guess Hoyoverse just doesn't agree. It's just how it is. But yeah, I would like to see more endgame stuff added in the future. All right, the last change I would like to see is, drum roll. Well, I don't have a drum roll, but I might surprise some of you here, but it's actually not artifact loadouts. I have seen a lot of comments every time I talk about this saying, you know, Hoyoverse, just add artifact loadouts already. It's so, you know, like, why do I have to constantly switch between my artifact sets all the time? Why can't you just add loadouts? It's like the easiest thing ever. And I'm indifferent about loadouts. I actually don't care either way, because when I build a character, I usually just leave that set on them forever. I'm too lazy to switch. Even if there were loadouts in the game, I'm mostly fine with how characters are just built. Like, sometimes I just wish they had a better option, but do I wish there was multiple sets that I could switch between two? Like, not really. I'm not doing that with any character for the most part, and yeah, it doesn't really matter to me. What I do want, however, is reduced RNG when it comes to farming artifacts. Now, there are several ways that they can go about this. I'll just name one of my ideas I have here, just so I don't make this video too long. But have you ever upgraded an artifact? Let's just take this one for example, and let's say all of the upgrades went to that flat defense at the top there. That would suck. Imagine if there was an ability that we could use. Obviously, there's got to be some limitations, can't do it all the time, but maybe we had the ability to rewind time and bring back that artifact back down to +0, and then re-upgrade it again in hopes that maybe our RNG will play out differently and it goes into different substats like the attack percentage, the crit damage, or the energy recharge. That would be a cool feature in order to reduce slightly the RNG with artifacts, because again, it really does suck farming a domain for weeks and weeks on end. You finally get a decent piece only for it to upgrade in the worst way imaginable, and then you have to do that whole process again, and that's really disheartening. I understand the frustration that new players have when building anybody and you just cannot get decent artifacts for the character and you're missing out on a ton of damage. So I totally understand that, and I also totally understand the frustration with the new artifact crafting system we got back during the anniversary update, that was a step in the right direction to let us actually, you know, pick main stats and stuff for artifacts, but it's just so limited. I actually haven't even bothered to use it. Not because I haven't really been building anyone and I haven't had to use it recently, but maybe once I pull the Pyro Archon and the Grandma, we're gonna have some more uses for it. But I would like to see that be like more available more often to players. Maybe not like a few times you know, a few times an update kind of thing, but like more and more often. Because again, I understand this is what Hoyoverse wants. They want you to grind for the artifacts. This is the biggest time sink. Even whales can't bypass this with money. This is where they want you to struggle a bit, and I understand that, but like it's also really too frustrating at times, and it'd be a nice way to, you know, like how in gotcha pulls there's a pity system, right? If you're having bad luck pulling for your characters, there's the pity system that kicks in and helps you out. I wish there was something like similar when it comes to artifact, just RNG in general. Like maybe if we've had a ton of bad artifacts in a row, we can finally just pick the one with the best substats we want, kind of thing, or you know, something similar, just something to make the grind of artifacts just a little bit easier on players out there, because it does suck having to farm artifacts all day every day and get basically nothing. So yeah, these are just the 5 things I'd like to see in Genshin coming in the new year. I really don't think we're gonna get automated domain farming, even though I'd like it. But I do think stuff like removing the day restrictions and letting us farm weekly bosses, the same weekly bosses 3 times, is definitely something they can do, because it's already something they already do in other games. Again, Triple Z players, if you're if you're in the video watching this, let me know if they do this in Triple Z as well, because that's just more evidence that, hey, Hoyoverse can absolutely copy what they're doing in other games and apply it to here. Um, that would be such a nice quality of life. You know, there's so much more that this game can improve and make better on in this upcoming year. And I'm just trying to stay positive about it. Hopefully, there's some more good changes. I mean, we got plenty of good changes this year as well. I'm not complaining. I thought this year was a solid year for Genshin overall in terms of gameplay quality. But hopefully, 2025 is just a continuation of that in the upcoming updates as we transition over to 6.0. Can't wait for that one. But let me know what you guys want to see in Genshin coming in 2025. I'll be reading all the comments, even the bad ones. And thank you guys for watching. Look forward to next year's content. Leave a like and subscribe so you can be notified for it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.